do this.
Welcome back, family. We've got the CovrPrice Top 20 for August 19th, 2024. This is Team Ohana. I'm your host, Rich. And before we even get into this, we have to say hello to the people that have signed in already. So we've got 25 Perez TTM already there. And I'm going to skip ahead and show Robert Monroe saying good evening, Rich and my fellow coconuts. Saving, though, Stinger Buns, who says, wow, woo, finally saw Wolverine and Deadpool. So bye, bye, bye. Had to get this all loaded up and ready for you. All right. I want to know what you thought of it. Did you like the movie? Got to tell us. Got to know. All right. So now I can get rid of that. Boom. Boom. That's ready. And I'm all set to go. Goody. All right. So hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I had a very lounging, do nothing, be a lazy bum weekend. I worked Saturday, and then after that, I just came home and just shut it down. I needed to unwind and relax and try to let some old joints recover. And they're not recovering the way they used to. Let's just say that. So we have a bunch of books today. Let me take a quick look at the full 20 because I got all the tabs opened up. I see 1, 2. Trying to see how many new books. That's definitely new. 3, 4. 5, 6. 6 books that are surprisingly new. There's a few on here that are been on and off lately and are back on again. Overall, though, it's a pretty diverse list, and I got to give that credit. So let's get the first one up on the screen here. We got number 20 on the list. We have Secret Wars, number 8, the direct edition, the origin of the alien symbiote, not first appearance. That was in Spider-Man 252, which predated this by a few months. And this book has been on the list for a little bit. I know. I asked him too. He didn't answer. But it seems like the price is there's pretty much still right around FMV, 9.8, $500. Kept, somebody paid $16,800 for a 9.9 back in 2021. Ouch! Especially since now they have 10s and 9.9s. Ay. I'm so glad I'm not the one that spent $16,800 on that. But $500 for a 9.84. This is a very iconic homage cover. But if I remember correctly, by the time this came out, we were all very, very curious what the origin of this black costume was. And everybody was on board reading Secret Wars. So this was also 1984, direct edition. So almost half the books were direct edition. They were going straight into bags, being taken care of. So high grades are not impossible to find at all. Near Mint Plus, 150. Near Mint Regular, 164. That's a little bit newer date. 500 is about what I think this book really should be at a 9.8, but 295 I think is a bit high for a 9.6. I think that should be lower. FMV on that is about $20 less than that. We have Venom coming up soon, and then afterwards we should have that Spider-Verse. But what I wondered about though is in the Venom movie, The Last Dance, because we've got the trailer and everything else is already dropped. At the end of the movie, what's going to happen with it's going to be an end credit scene showing him with Tom Holland or something like that, and really just open the floodgates for everybody. Because once we see Venom, the black costume on Tom Holland's Spider-Man, it's really going to get interesting, and I think this book is going to go up. Right now, it's on the list because of the Venom trailer a couple of weeks ago, but still. And that's going to be coming out before Craven, if I'm not mistaken. You might not have an opportunity for this book to go down much before the movie. And depending upon what happens in the movie, this may actually go up a little bit. So if you want that 9.8, this might be your best time at it. 9.4, 9. I think 9.6 should be closer to 220, 230. I think that's a bit high. Of course, speaking, I don't have a 9.6 or a 9.8, so it's right about where it should be purchased, I think, with the upcoming movies. So X-Men number 266, the second appearance of Gambit. I know a lot of people say the first. Let's just say first cover appearance. Iconic book. Everybody associates this with being his first appearance, but I think the market is slowly shifting on this. 9.8 at 600. It has dropped down a little bit from the FMV of 610. The 9.6 has also gone down a little bit. Near Mint's gone down. Near Mint Plus is right about FMV. And this is because now that I can talk about it, Gambit, played by Shannon Tatum, appears in a very prominent role in the Spider-Man, Deadpool and Wolverine movie. And he's brought into Deadpool's universe. Now, does that mean he's canon? Does that mean we're going to be getting him in the 616 in Marvel MCU? I don't know. I think Shannon Tatum did a very good job with it. He doesn't have the right body frame for what I associate Gambit to be. I think Gambit to be more svelte, and Channing Tatum is a bit more buff. So I think of Deadpool being more acrobatic, less muscular. So I don't know if he'll play that. I think we're going to get Gambit in the MCU, but I don't know how they're going to work that. Probably with the mutants. But this book is still going to come down a little bit more now that the movie is not even number one at the box office right now. That got taken over by Alien Romulus for a rated R movie. Got dethroned. Might jump back up again next week, but wait another couple of weeks. This book will start its descent. Number 18, we have Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. Number 10. So again, this is a great, great series, but this is very highly printed. Everything Doom related is overpriced in my opinion right now because of the hype. We don't know what storyline we're getting, so I would definitely put this in the collection, but I would not get it now. I'd wait like 3 months. We got 9.8 now selling for $285, 9.6 is for $128. Nah, I'd be looking for a nah. I'm under 200. I think this is where a 9.8 on this should be because there's just too many of them. Next on the list, we have the New Mutants, number 98, first appearance of Deadpool. Sinker Buns, tell us how you like the movie. So this book has come down a little bit now. I see this here, 9.8. Now, last sale, 955. Remember I told you it was coming under 1,000? Now we're at 955. So another few weeks, we're going to be under 900. What do I think is going to be the low point? If you're really looking for a 9.8 direct edition, in another few weeks, maybe another 2 months. 2 months, 850. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the economy to know if the book will continue to go down or if that's going to be a slow mark. But I think you still could, if you want it, rather than getting it right now, wait another couple of months and save another $100. Deadpool number 31, the direct edition. First full appearance of Ellie Camacho. It's now down in the teens. It's not in the top 10. See, it's down 4%. We have a 9.8 selling for $160. But a couple of weeks ago, it was at $250. So it's already dropped down $90, 90 out of 250. Was that 13%? Ouch. Near Mint Plus selling for $25. Near Mint regular selling for $25. So if you get yourself a nice Near Mint for $25 in there for grading, definitely still less than $160. This is a book from 2014. I knew this book was going to drop down. I didn't even bother researching. It's been on the list now. This is the third week in a row and dropping not only in price, but in ranking. I think next week we don't even see this on the list. Speaking of when is this book going to go off the list? Come on. What If Iron Man, Demon in an Armor? Cool cover. I get it. The homage to the demon in the bottle. But it's still a what if book. Book is, I see, going down now. But the 9.8 sold for $500 on 8.8. Most recent sale I see is $105 for Near Mint. $100 for a very fine. I think a lot of people want to grab this book, but it's slowly dropping down the list. And after this falls off the list, it's not going to be getting, grabbed up at shows. And I think dealers are really going to drop the price trying to just dump this because I don't think this is a great book. I don't think it's a great investment. X-Men number 2, the J. Scott Campbell Virgin 1 in 100. You got nice magic cover here, Ilyana Rasputin on it. That's a cool cover. I do like it. However, hi Kenneth, welcome to the show. How's it going, buddy? Great book to get signed. It looks like it already comes, printed signature, but still a lot of solid color there to get yourself a good signature when you see them at a show. Let's see, no sales found. Now on August 13th, this sold for the day before it came out. Okay, 160. Now selling for 102. So it's already dropped down. uh 60 out of 160. Does that 30% ish. So yeah, I think that this is going to continue to. It's another Virgin variant. It's X-Men number 2. It's a good book, but if this was going to hold value, it would be going up, not down. This is, I think, just going to be another one of the incentive books that will just drop down in price and settle somewhere around 50 to 60 bucks. Werewolf by Night, the red band, 1 in 50, number 1. For a second, I thought that was Lady Deadpool, but it's not. We have the first appearance of Elder Dorgana, only important if the character means something going forward. This was pre-ordered by somebody on the 4th of July for $126, now selling for $103. But we have a lot of people that are getting these, so stores ordered appropriately so they can get a couple copies. Remember, if they order 100 copies of the regular so they could buy 2 of these, they pay half price. So the regular price of this book was what, $4.99? So they're paying $250. 100 copies would be $250. If they sell the 2 copies they get for another $5 at $100, they're pretty much getting their 100 copies of the Werewolf by Night regular red band for free. The stores are in business to make money. They had, they had to pay for their employees, the books, the lights, rent, everything. So I don't fault them on that whatsoever, but I just don't think that this is going to be a rare book, because after the very first red band 1 in 25 that homage, the one with Thor's decapitated head, every single issue of these red band, the stores are ordering many, a lot of copies of the regular so they get a few copies of the incentives. And they're selling them very well because everybody's afraid of missing that next incentive. That being said, this is a $25, $30 book in a year from now. Next on the list, this one was number 1 on the list last week. And see, we're down to 12. It's dropped down, wow, into the honorable mentions. Went straight to number 1, then right out of the top 10. First cameo appearance of the Outliers in Uncanny X-Men number 1. This is a 1 in 50 hidden gem. And I'll be honest, it is a gem. That is a beautiful, beautiful cover. Yeah, I mean, that's one of those covers that if I saw him at a show in 10 years from now, I would say, man, I love your artwork. My favorite is the Uncanny X-Men 1, Hidden Gem. So this book has, let's see, it's sold on the 5th for 133. Now it's selling for 92.85. So it's dropped down 35% of its value, 40% of its value in 1 week. So again, X-Men number 1, stores ordered buku copies of this. And I'm going to expand this so you can see. You got 6, 12, 18, 24, 25 different books. So to get a 1 in 50, you got to order 2 copies of each and entitled you to this. I'm telling you, stores probably bought like 300 total X-Men number 1, knowing it's going to be a big seller of all the different variants, getting 6 of these per store on average. Some of the bigger places more, some of the smaller places less. 2,000 stores. So you're looking at what, 12,000 copies? That's not a really rare book. Okay, next on the list, we have Daredevil number 14. Now, this was, I'm trying to remember, one of the Daredevils was on the list last week. I think it was this one. This is the first cover appearance of Muse. Muse is not cast yet, but pretty much confirmed to be the bad guy in March on Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus. If those of you who read the Daredevil run at this time, it was a great story. And Daredevil, I mean, Muse is just, yeah, that's a character that'll give you nightmares. And if they do him in the TVMA fashion on Disney Plus, this is going to be a very disturbing season. Again, I don't see him cast yet, but there are rumors of who could play him, which they change. Those change every week. So 9.8 in April sold for 175. Now 9.8s are selling for 101. Near mint Raws selling for 30. I'm going to be honest, $101 for a 9.8, and I had several copies of this. I sent them in for grading. None of them hit 9.8, and I thought they were all good. I hit 9.6s. I hit 9.4s. I might be looking for this myself at 101. This is, yeah. And this is not something I would want to keep for a long, long term. It's just everybody's talking about the Daredevil and Punisher and Kingpin and Karen Page and Foggy, and are they going to bring back Elektra and Bullseye, who's been cast, and everybody's forgetting about Muse. And when you see a trailer and it's got Muse, or they get casting information and it's got Muse, this book at only $101 because it's his first cover appearance, I think this is going to be shooting up. And I may crack my 9496 and see what actor it turns out to be, because this is also a book that could really easily be signed. There's a lot of great spots here to be signed by the actor, who I see Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio going on, on the signing circuit. I imagine this actor will too. Okay, and that's, hang on one second. I just got to check it. I think that's number 12, right? No, that was number 11. We're going to hit the top 10. But before I hit the top 10, I have to at least say thank you to all our Patreon members and our YouTube members. Now, yes, being subscribed is fantastic, and I appreciate you. I love you. You get all the content. But there are also memberships if you'd like to help support the channel. You can become a YouTube member or a Patreon member for either one for $3 a month. YouTube members get content in advance, and Patreon members get we have a meetup, and they get to pick from a giveaway box, and once a month, and just get free comic books. Also, both of them get bonus picks if you are polled as a winner on New Comic Book Day. But above all, also, I want to say thank you very much to them, and give this little little screen to remind all of you guys who they are. And again, thank you. And we're back. We're going to be hopping into the top 10. And I was very surprised, pleasantly, to see this book on the list in the top 10. I don't know if it's because we've got a new story arc coming out, or has there been more news from Amazon concerning the TV show? But a book that used to dominate this list years ago is back up, and it wants to be reckoned with. We're talking about Something is Killing the Children, issue number 1 from Boom Studios, 2019. Hard to believe. Yeah, we're coming up on the 5-year mark on this book. First appearance of Erica Slaughter, first appearance of James, first appearance of an Oscura-type, sorry. A lot of great books, a lot of great printings. High watermark on this for a 9.8 was $1,500 in 2021. I remember this when this book started to shoot up. I bought this in a 9.8 already slabbed. And I was worried because at that time I was not used to spending a couple $100 on a book, but I grabbed a 9.8 at $300. That's what it was going for. And then it just kept going. And even though this book has dropped 50% in value, it's still last sale at $745. So I am still in very, very happy situation. But so 745 for a 9.8, 9.6 at 450, 9.4 at 225, which is still respectable prices. Because this book was, it really didn't start hitting higher printings due to people demanding it, until around issue number 11. I think all of the top 10 books in the series are lower printing, and um and there's also some really good second and third prints in there too. What is it? The issue number 3, the second print, one where she's in the bathtub and just got all the open wounds on her back and the water is all bloody. It's like a greenish bathroom. Oh man, great artwork and that great storytelling too. So near mints in the raws are 482 for which is up a little bit, which is cool. Very fines also 345. It's nice to see this book ticking a little bit higher for a change. Now, again, I don't know if there's been news, but we do know that eventually we're going to be seeing a show about this. I don't know if we're going to get Sandman season 2 because of the stuff that's going on with Gaiman. The Last of Us is still a little bit a ways out. I think we're closer to getting Something is Killing the Children as the next big show before anything else. And I have never had as a membership or subscription or whatever to Amazon. When this comes out, I will get it because I have got to see this. Hopefully they do it right. And look, this is not an easy find because there's just not as many out there as there are people that want it. 750-ish for a 9.8. You might be at a low mark right now before the series comes out, before a trailer drops. This might be a time, if you've always been wanting to get one, to go for it. And I say that just like with the X23 NYX number 3 first appearance of Laura Linney. I always wanted to get one. I didn't pull the trigger a couple of times. I didn't need a 9.8. I just wanted like an 8.5 or a 9.0. And now that shot up because of Deadpool Wolverine and also because she's going to be remaining in the MCU. So I think I missed my chance on that. This might be people's chance on getting a Something is Killing the Children number 1. Even low grades. Wow, a 1.8 sold for $660. I can't understand that at all. I don't think that's right. No grade 200. Yeah. I don't know what the no grade was. So, Hector Ortiz, how's it going? What do we got? Someone, Tinian, I think, posted the complete script for Something is Killing the Children. I think this is why we're seeing this book back. God, I wish he didn't. I don't want the whole script. Well, I just won't read it. That's all. Coming in number 9, we have the Power Fantasy. This is the Chase variant, which that had some spike to it when it first came out. But I think people are starting to realize it's not as rare as everybody thinks it is. People were paying up to 30 books last week. Now let's see the last sale of a near mint, $6. And I think that's where it's going to stay. I think it's right down the cover price. That's what I paid for it at the store. Visions, they just gave me one of each copy. I think they received in the same amount of both copies. So why one is considered rarer, I don't know. But if you really want to get that difference in copy there, don't pay more than cover price for it. It's not going to be worth more than that. Blood Hunt number 5, the 1 in 25, of course. Why? Because it's got Doom on the cover. Yay! It's up a little bit in price, it looks like. So the highest known value was a week ago. No, not even 4 days ago. Sold for $60. And that was for a raw. I guess that was for a near mint, which is now selling for $50. So it's a double ratio. So it's hyped because of ratio, hyped because of the news with Doom. So it's got 2 reasons to drop down in price. $18 in 6 months. I meant the picture of the script, not the inside. Apologies. No, that's okay. So have they started filming already? Have there been casting of it? If they haven't started filming and they haven't cast, you're still at least a year away. If you're a year away, then that book is going to drop down a little bit more in price as it drops off the list and fades out of everybody's mind for the time being. Yeah, Blood Hunt issue number 5, 1 in 25. It's a $20 book in 6 months. Uh the book that won't go away. Doom issue number 1. The cover A, nobody wanted because the cover B was so much better. Highest known value of a raw for this. 9.8 was $200 on June 14th. Right now they're selling for $153. None of my copies that I sent didn't hit a 9.8, which was very disappointing. I see that the Near Mint regular sold for $50 on the 18th. I can't go by the Near Mint Plus because that's more than a week ago. So it looks like the book has gone up a little bit because of the news with Downey, which means when the news fades into the background, so will the price. I think that we're going to wind up, though, this being a $25 to $30 book raw for the long run. And like 120 for a 9.8, which will spike up again once we start seeing leaked pictures or whatever, or a trailer. Everything Doom related will go up then too. But nothing in this has got anything to do with the story. So I don't think there's been any casting as of yet. Who would you like to see as Erica Slaughter? It's a good question. Next on the list, we have the infamous Iron Man number 1, which has the Doom Iron Man cover. Now, this book, it was up in price a few years ago. Then it just died off into oblivion. Now it's back up again. So all the dealers that have a bunch of copies of this are pulling them out of their boxes and selling them, which makes them happy. But it's going to fade back into oblivion again. Highest known sale was in July 31st, $300. Let's see, what's a 9.8 selling for now? $255. Okay, it's dropped 1/6 the price in 2 weeks. Hey, guys, just don't do it. This is at best a $90 to $100 book in a 9.8. Judi Dench. Isn't she like 80? How is she going to play Jessica Slaughter? I'm assuming that's you're trolling me. All right, let's get into the top 5 here. We've got a new book, X-Men Origins Gambit. It's not new to the market. Yeah, trolling me. Okay. This is a 2009 book. Very pink or fuchsia, I think that would be. But price wise, let's see, 9.6 just sold for 110. Highest known price, 440. Did nobody buy this? Nobody care about it, and then it shot up in price because it was rare. X-Men Origins Gambit. Okay. Let's see if we can check some of the sales data on this. I see near mint sale of 64. Okay. It looks like it's been several $100s for several years now. Well, in 2021 it was $66. Then in 2022, 440, 350, 408, 360, 377, 299. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a very hard book to find and people like it now, but they didn't back then. Again, that'd be a cool book to have autographed by like Channing Tatum or something. So me, I don't know enough about it, and it's not important to me at all, so I'm not going to go recommending it. If JP were here, this would definitely be categorized as a meh. So again, if I have $400, I'm definitely picking. There's other books that I'm picking before I take this one for 400. But it looks like it's dropped a little bit in price from where it was a couple of years ago. That $300 sale was back in April. which I believe we already had Gambit news as, like leaked possible in the movie. Near mint copies are selling for 64. Mm. I would still try, if I really wanted to get it though, based on past sales and what the market has done, I'd be trying to get it for, I guess, 250-ish. I would be focusing on what the market has done as a whole, and not what the Wolverine movie has done to specific titles for a temporary basis. Speaking of which, issue number 251. Singabuns, where are you? This scene was very beautifully done in the the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Didn't really have any bearing to the story, but it was really, really cool. Very well done. On August 1st, a 9.8 of this sold for 400. Most recent sale of this now was at 300. So 25% down in 2 weeks. Near mint pluses are selling for 71. So I expect this book to be down under 200 within 3 months. It was a nice spike while it had it, but it's not going to hold it because all it is a cool cover. And it's a real cool cover. I mean, and a lot of times books get by on just being a cool cover. But this one got all the attention specifically for one scene in a movie, which didn't have any bearing on where the movie went. So, Daredevil number 11. Now, here is the first appearance of Muse. This one is quite a bit higher. You got $208 for a 9.8 on the 15th, which is 4 days ago, and 107 for a 9.6. Near mint pluses going for $69. Oh, that was more than a month ago, so I wouldn't count that one as a accurate price anymore. But $208 at this point now, if you're buying this with the intention of flipping it when the casting is done or when the trailer hits or something, your profit margin is going to be very minimal on this because you're spending $200. If you were to, no, not that one. There we go. If you were to go get the issue number 14 with the first cover appearance, 9.8 of that being around $100, I think that you're going to have a better luck with the number 14, being as he's right there on the cover, of flipping that one when he appears in the trailer. Now, if you just want to buy this so you can have it yourself, wait, because he is not going to make it past one season. He's already dead in the comic books, so he's not going to survive the TV series. Then when that happens, so long-term investment, both Daredevils are off the table. For something that if you wanted to flip, go for number 14. I think you don't have to spend as much money out of pocket. Number 2. Really? The Unbelievable Gwenpool, issue number 1 from 2016. What the hell? Now, we have a high sale. It was FMV of $67 and a 9.8 just sold for $95. Near mint pluses sell for $10. Nothing specific about this book. There's no first appearances, no nothing. It's 2016. Everything was bagged and boarded at this time. However, bear in mind the cover price, this list is generated based on the sales that are recorded through most media, through most outlets. And there's an expression in computer, which is garbage in, garbage out. So if you were to look up it's really gone up 50% in a week, or could somebody have accidentally sold a 9.8 second printing, which normal price is about $90, and didn't list it correctly, so it got pulled up by the system here as a first printing? I think that's more likely the case, because I don't see this book selling for $95 when it's normally around 67. And I looked at the sales on this; it's like 65, 65, 65, 95. Why? Nothing happened. There's no reason for this book to all of a sudden go 50% higher. However, you look at the second printing sales, it's like 98, 88, da, 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 da. It's right in that same ballpark. So I think this is just a bad listing, which got pulled into the CovrPrice algorithm. And like they say, garbage in, garbage out. Uh, all that being said, don't spend $100 on this book, please. And for the second week that this has been on the list now, we have this is pre-sailing. It was on the list. We have the James Harren Thank You, which is a one per store for Transformers number 11. Cool looking cover. I think it's like the first appearance of the Magna Transformer or something like that, the supersized McDonald's version. I don't know. So we had $135 as a sale on August 8th, currently selling for $90 for a near mint plus or $65 for a near mint regular. So almost half the value of it is gone. It's not a first. Well, no, it's not a first appearance according to this. And there's just way too many Transformer books out there. And they're great stories. Everybody loves reading them, but there's just too many copies of them to have them really retain value for long term. Yeah, this is definitely, you don't want to spend the money on this. This is a one per store, which comes out to almost like a 1 in 25 ratio variant now. So just this is going to be a lot cheaper. This is probably going to wind up settling in around $15 to $20 for a raw, or 75, 80 for a 9.8 in the long run. So don't go spending $90 on this. I mean, if you last week you would have spent 135. Now it's down to 90. What's it going to be in another couple of weeks? Let's give it a chance. It'll come down. And that wraps up the top 20. But now what I have to do is I have to pick two picks: my gun to the head pick and my rubber band to the butt. Now, what they are is, my gun to my head pick is, I look at these 20 books and I say, in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever, if I had to buy one of these books at the current prices, which one would I put the money into that I think that has the best chance to go up, or at least if they all go down, the one that'll go down the least percentage wise? When I'm getting to some of the real key books, older books, expensive books, I have the option to choose a different, not a 9.8, just a lower grade if I want to, especially when it gets to Silver Age, which we don't have on the list this week. And then I have my rubber band to the butt pick, which is the one I say, this one is a joke. Don't spend this kind of money. It's the one that's going to lose the most amount of money over the next few months. And I really do invite you guys to throw in the chat which ones you think are the ones. Now, let's see. Which one do I think has the best chance if I were going to go and, I mean, I like that. I do kind of like that. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. I think my gun to the head pick, and I'm going for a full 9.8. I'm going for Daredevil number 14, first cover appearance of Muse. And because right now a 9.8 is selling for right about $100, which is not terrible at all. And I think when you see him in the trailer, when you see him, when you get casting news, I think that the first appearance, number 11, is going to go up in value, but it's already it's already double the price of this. So it's closer to its ceiling than this one is. That's a good way to put it. I think this on a 9.8 will peak at about 225. Now, do I think it's great for long-term investment, like years? No. But short-term, if you can get one for a 9.8 for 100, 105, 110, and when they make the casting news and everything else, sell it for 200 to 225, I think that's a good shot. Okay, now I've got to pick my rubber band to the butt. Now we got several choices for this one too, don't we? Now I'm not going to pick on that Gwenpool because I think that's an error. I think that's a one isolated sale error. And I'm going to try to stay away from the what if because that's been my pick 2 weeks in a row, and I'm so tempted to make that the third. Ugh, so tired to see it. um, hmm. Do we want to go with this one? Where's the prices? Yeah. Yep. Okay. My rubber band to the butt. I think worst investment on this list, and it's only got raw prices anyway. We've got the Werewolf by Night Red Band 1 in 50. And this one is selling. High sale was at 126 on July 4th. Now selling for 103. I think the 103 is still way overpriced. I think this settles at 25 to 30 bucks. It won't settle that until after Halloween. I think just the title being Werewolf, especially after the Werewolf by Night special, will still be making people think of Werewolf. November, I think this is going to start hitting rock bottom. So this would be the book that I personally am going to stay away from the most on this list. And that wraps up the cover price top 20 for today, which is October. See, I'm talking about Halloween and werewolves. August 19th, 2024. Okay, so I want to just say one other quick, and now let me close this up, which will free up half the space on my computer. Boom. One other thing I want to talk about is and I know Rob already talked about it on his show, but I had a verbal in the middle of a Heroes Con conversation with Rob while he was also talking with 12 other people. So I'm not mad with him at all. I had a verbal agreement to do Labor Day weekend. I should have followed up with him after the show and say, hey, so did you write this down? I knew he was busy and I just forgot. That was me. So I was looking at doing Labor Day weekend with him, and I reached out to him last week saying, so do you need a new picture for the screen, or do you want me to take a new one? Or do you want to use the one from last time? How do you want to do it? And he goes, we do it a show. I'm like, oh damn, I knew I should have reminded him. So he's already got it booked, which is fine. That's fine with me. I just love doing a show. But it looks like I'm going to be doing November 9th, I think it is. I think it says calendar. There you go. Good boy. Move down to November. Yes, November 9th is the second. We're working like every third weekend at my job. So he offered me November 2nd, and I said, I can't. I got to work. But November 9th, Timo Hana will be on Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics on Only Slabs. Looking forward to that. And if you're wondering, well, what's Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics? That you'll find the link in the description, as well as a link to join our Patreon here on this video. That's where the hub, the center of comics curing cancer is. Okay. That's where we are trying to save people's lives by buying comic books. Huh? How do we do that? Easy. First off, this is a double-edged sword here. We're looking for people to contribute books. Okay. It could be simple books, could be expensive books. It could be artwork. It could be services. It could be, I got a case of extra bags and boards. Send them in. Doesn't matter. Anything in the comic or collectible market, go to Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics. I'll reach out to him on Instagram. And you're going to see that what we do, or what he does, I consider myself to be a we because I was lucky enough to get myself a nice upside down. Ha ha. This is a solid metal coin. Significant contributor award for the American Cancer Society. So yeah, we do this. This is the third year, I believe, fourth year. Last year we broke $50,000, and we're trying to see if we can crush that this year. What we do, and he's doing it the first weekend in October. All these contributions, these comic books and everything else, and Timo Hana sent in some books too, and he's going to auction them off live on the air. Now, let's just say a book comes up, he's going to auction it, blah blah blah, $1, $2, $3. Okay, winning bid $5. Great. He does not want you to send him the money. You go. There's a link which takes you to the C3 tab, I guess you'd say, on the American Cancer Society's website. You're going to make a donation to the American Cancer Society for your winning bid. Since it goes through the tab, he gets a notification that you made the donation. Says, okay, he's paid for the comic book. They paid for shipping to send it to your house. You're buying a comic book it's going to be these are great books, it'll be great prices. So you're going to get some great things for your collection, getting a tax deduction because you're making the donation to the American Cancer Society, kicking cancer in the nuts right there. Boom. Okay. And having a lot of great fun. Just even if you can't buy books the whole dang show, hang out for the show, have a blast. Okay. I mean, last year he worked through it sick. And I no doubt he would do it again because it just means that much to him. He's a great, great person. And that's, all the money his channel generates, normally he uses to pay for the shipping. So, wow. And he also has the single greatest giveaway box that you'll find every single Saturday when he does Only Slabs. And he pulls from it multiple times during the show. Jeez, I won for the first time last Saturday. Wow. Silver Age books. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you so much for joining. Please don't forget to click like, click subscribe, drop a comment down below. I want to hear what you guys think about this list. What do you see in the market? Is there anything that hey, how come this book isn't on? We could talk about it. Why not? Also, please don't forget to click on notifications so you know when. Yeah, I was shocked. Happy shocked, but yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna wrap this up and go get some rest so I can get ready for work tomorrow. I want to say thank you, everybody. Like, subscribe, notifications, the whole drill. Don't drop those comments down below. I'll see you on Wednesday for free new comic book day and our free giveaway that we have every single week. Till I see you there, though. Mahalo.